Tarot by the Bay, I'm David. All right, this is an interesting one brought up by a viewer. Judge Scott McAfee, he's the judge that's going to be overseeing the Georgia RICO case involving Fani Willis. He's going to have a private meeting with Terrance Bradley. Bradley was the friend and former law partner of Fani Willis, Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. I believe this is the fellow that said that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade were dating much sooner than when Fani Willis and Nathan Wade acknowledged their romantic relationship. Now, he was basically touted as a star witness to bring Fani Willis down, but but it really didn't happen that way, and here's why. Bradley took the stand in last week's disqualification hearing and was described as a star witness in the efforts to disqualify Willis. But both Bradley's counsel and the state's counsel repeatedly invoked that attorney-client privilege was involved, and it obscured most of the specifics in the manner. So on Friday, after the trial, the judge decided that he was going to meet with Bradley ex parte in camera, which means the witness will provide testimony in a closed-door meeting to discuss communications. Atlanta-based attorney Richard Lawson told Newsweek that Judge McAfee will be very careful and deliberate in his ruling. Attorneys still have to do their summaries of the evidence and law, and Mr. Bradley could be recalled to testify if the judge finds some of what he may know is not covered by that privilege. Lawson also went on to say that Willis would be disqualified only if the evidence before McAfee shows that the district attorney committed perjury or that a relationship with Wade began before his appointment to the Trump case. The judge's decision could come as early as the second week of March. Okay, so this is actually kind of an interesting one to read on because we will have a resolution fairly soon. It's stuff going on behind closed doors, so we actually will kind of get a decision on it. So I want to look at the energy around the meeting between Mr. Lawson here. Let's get his first name again. Terrance Bradley and Judge McAfee. Let's look. What is the energy around Terrance Bradley? Let's just look at him. At Terrance Bradley and his testimony. That's going to come up with Judge McAfee behind closed doors. Entertainment purposes only. The Emperor. Okay. He thinks very highly of himself. He's large and in charge. And, again, he views himself as in a very commanding presence type of thing. Crossed with the Ace of Cups. But he's also got strong emotions and passion. Betrayal. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's almost like, I think this was the fellow that was let go, laid off, fired. The ex-employee type thing that's bearing a grudge. There's some real passion / anger that's going on here. I think he viewed himself as a very powerful member of that law firm and that he wasn't treated well and let go unfairly. I really do think he's bearing a grudge on that. Let's see what's in the past. Queen of Swords. Involving what I'm going to describe as him being let go. I really should look at this because I think that's what it is. I don't want to go too far down that without verifying it. Hang on for a second. Okay, we're back. Whew. Yeah, oh yeah, there's a problem here. He was accused of sexually harassing or sexually assaulting a woman at the firm. So, yeah. And then there were other things that were being revealed about text messages and things along those lines. Apparently, in this article I'm reading in Law and Crime, he was basically testifying things that were favorable to the state. Then they asked him if he basically accused him of sexually harassing two women. And then the wheels came off the bus here. And I think that's when all this attorney-client privilege started coming out. And that's why the judge wants to meet him in private. Holy smokes. I had no idea. Okay, but that explains the betrayal and the heartbreak, the strong emotions and stuff like that. And this is that's just saying, dude, no. If you've been accused of this, of sexual harassment, you're gone. We can't have the firm have something like that. Oh, sorry. Come on down. Current situation is the devil card. This is, to him, he's going to burn. He will burn it all down. He doesn't care. He wants his revenge for what he feels was maybe unjust, unfair, or maybe to the point arrogance. Like, you can't prove this. How dare you do this to me? I will take you two lovers right down with me. You're gonna send me to hell. I'm dragging you with me. This guy's all about vendettas. That's what I'm getting from him. Overarching energy is justice. Is this really about justice? This is more about revenge than justice. Maybe, and maybe he thinks it's justice. Maybe justice will prevail. But look at all these major arcana that are just bouncing up over the top here. The lesson to be learned is the Queen of Pentacles. Understanding what's valuable. Finding practicality in things. I think justice is going to get to the end. When Judge McAfee talks to them and asks some specific questions, maybe some value will be gleaned from it. But I do think justice will prevail on this one. The outcome is the Page of Cups. I'm wondering if his story is not coming out as believable. This is kind of, it's not believable. It's fantasy. It's, messaging about relationships that are odd or unusual. But it's a page. It's not a queen. It's not a king. It's just, I use this as like my MAGA card. So it's like about rumors and innuendo. He might just be a bit of an odd. There might be something that may not be fully right with him. And again, those strong passions lead to this destructive behavior from the guy who would be king. Justice, I think, is going to come out over it. They're going to find, I think justice, the judge will get down to the bottom of this here. And let's ask about that. So that was the energy around him. I think he's, I would say he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's being a bit strong, but I think his emotions, especially in that situation, are blinding him. He's got so much anger and so much rage that he's not reasonable. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's just, he's got one quest and one quest alone, and no amount of facts, no amount of evidence is going to convince him of anything other than what he is trying to get revenge for. All right. Let's see. So Judge McAfee. You're going to meet with him, with Terrance Bradley, behind closed doors, and talk with him about certain questions. How is that going to pan out? How will Judge McAfee's meeting behind closed doors pan out? Temperance. That is the best thing you could ask for with the judge. It takes the devil card here. It takes that Ace of Cups card that was here, and it's bringing the energy down, detoxifying it, condensing it down into what you know versus what you don't know, what's supposition. I think this is a great card for the judge on this case. What's crossing it? The Fool. New journey, new messaging, foolish behavior, and the Page of Pentacles. I think there's going to be some small things of value. Does it mean that Fani Willis has to be Fani Willis has to be disqualified from the case? Possibly, because then this could be you have a different district attorney taking it over. But I think whatever Judge McAfee gets, it's going to be useful into making that determination of whether or not Fani Willis stays on the case or is removed from the case. But I don't think it's not a huge amount of information here. It's nothing. It's not a huge breaking news type of underlying energy that's down there. In the past, you got the Six of Swords. In some ways, I think it's going to focus on how this guy left and why he left. It was going on. One of the things that I think I saw in that other article was that Terrance Bradley was afraid of testifying on court because that would cause additional legal jeopardy for him or something along those lines. So, it's kind of getting through all the drama and then just getting to the facts that he needs to make his decision on Fani Willis's involvement in this case going forward. The current situation during that, the meeting will remain secret. What was said will be contained. If there is any new information, it's allowed to come out. But I think the vast majority of what is talked about behind closed doors is it might be attorney-client privilege, so it can't be revealed. And I think that's part of what he's talking with him. He wants to talk candidly with him so he can determine what is attorney-client privilege and what is not. Because he will not allow attorney-client privilege material to be let out. This will also calm that case down a lot too. The overarching energy is the Five of Coins. Left out in the cold, excluded. Now, is this about Fani Willis and Mr. Wade being left out in the cold? Is this about Terrance Bradley being left out in the cold? Is this about attorney-client something? I think a lot of there's not a lot. It's just not seeing a lot of value in the testimony. There's just Five of Coins is about lack. There's a lack of things here, like a lack of evidence or a lack of support. You need corroborating information from it, and he's just not getting it again. And I think a lot of it could be attorney-client privilege. Maybe this guy is worried that if he talks too much, he's going to be out in the cold. He'll be disbarred or something along those lines. So there's a lot going on here. That's over it all, but I'm not seeing a lot or feeling a lot that's coming out from this. That's bad for Fani Willis. This card's not great. The lesson to be learned is the Seven of Swords, the getting away with it. The lying, the cheating, the stealing, the theft, the deception, the misrepresentation. If he does have information about misrepresentation, this could cause Fani Willis to be removed from the case for ethical reasons. Again, because you're not allowed to commit perjury. Somebody's not on the up and up here, basically. Now, whether is it the guy he's talking to or is it Fani Willis? Let's see. The outcome is the Ace of Wands, taking strong action going forward. Who's he taking strong action against? The heartbreak and the betrayal. Waiting for your ship to come in. Changes being made. Ace of Swords. I almost think that, and I hate to say it, it's like he comes up with just enough that the judge feels a change needs to be made. Somebody needs to be brought in because somebody wasn't being honest or truthful with him, and he's going to hold them accountable for that. That, my original reading on this was that Fani Willis would stay on the case. Original reading was Fani Willis would be removed for it, that she wouldn't be able to prosecute it. And when she testified, that energy seemed to really change, and I thought she would stay on it. I'm curious what, the judge is going to come out with a strong ruling and a very strong path forward on this case after he's done talking with Terrance Bradley in camera or in confidence. So, will either Fani Willis or Nathan Wade be removed from this case? Will either Fani Willis or Nathan Wade be removed from this case? That Ace of Wands could be stuff that, he can't bring up anything against Terrance Bradley because the whole thing of this is to, not punish him, to allow him to speak freely. But whatever he tells him gives the judge very solid ground to move forward with whatever his decision is. Okay? Look at it that way. There's an agreements, contracts, versus the Emperor. So they're Fani Willis, Nathan Wade versus Terrance Bradley. It's like almost like who's more believable in this one. There's your Ace of Wands. Cool. It's in the past now. So here's how the decision's going to pan out. The relationships that are going on versus what this guy's testimony was. The King of Wands. The judge is going to be making a ruling on it. The Queen of Wands, it's going to involve Fani Willis. If this is high energy, she's staying on the case. You're going to continue on this one. If this is low energy, it's don't let the door hit you on the way out. Ace of Pentacles. Strong value. Strong push. I think she's staying on. I think the judge makes the decision that Fani Willis stays on this case. Welcome back to the case. Go ahead and prosecute. This is her underneath it as well. Queen of Wands, the action. And, the woman of luxury or something along those lines. So this is going to involve Fani Willis being kept on the case here. Now, if this is a low energy saying, you're out of here, it's because something's not lining up with the finances. But I don't think that's, when they're talking about, paying in cash and stuff like that. I don't think, though. I think she's going to stay on the case. To me, this is the energy of you're staying in here. You're welcome. Come on back. You've got a big case to prosecute here, and you're the right person for the job. So this could be me being biased here, but I think she is staying on the case. And I don't see Mr. Wade being removed from the case. All right, so one last reading. Spirit, can you tell me a little bit about maybe this is the better one. For Terrance Bradley, how does he feel after the judge makes his ruling? How's he feeling after the judge makes his ruling? How does Nathan Bradley feel after the judge, Terrance Bradley feel after the judge makes his ruling? The Hierophant, government positions, things are moving on, or the trial's moving on. He's feeling kind of diminished. He can't talk. He can't reveal what he knows. It's kind of like the attorney-client privilege. He can't reveal what he knows. He'd have to be like brought to the court case. He might be brought to the court case because he has some things he can talk about, but he can't talk about everything he knows. This is about the attorney-client privilege. You can speak to certain questions asked to you. He will allow the testimony to go through, and it will look at, kind of Fani Willis and her relationship here. He will be able to testify. I think that's not what I asked, but he will be able to testify. He's just really restricted on what he can say. This is telling me it's going to go forward. There's going to be some questions on this one, but I don't think he's going to be able to dent the Empress because he can't reveal everything he knows or how he knows it, type of thing. That's not to say that Fani Willis has been lied or did anything along those lines. There seems to be other things at play, and I don't know what they are, and we're not supposed to know what they are. So, long and short, I do believe that Fani Willis will stay on the Georgia RICO case once this is all said and done. We'll find out, though, soon enough. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. Thank you for your likes and your shares and everything you do to feed the algorithm so that my video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks just discovering this channel, welcome. I hope you found this reading useful. I'm confused by it, but hey, if you found it useful, right on. I'm glad you found us enjoying the fun. I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.